Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome yourself back to the last discussion about YUME NIKKI Dream Diary before its release. It comes out in a couple days, in case you're not aware. You can get it on Steam, and I believe Playism is the other site you can get it on. Regardless, $20, it's coming in a couple days, prepare yourself. But today, folks, we're going to do something that I wanted to do before, but didn't get the chance until now, and that is discuss a fair bit of these screenshots that were, released. Surprisingly, not a lot of folks saw this, so I figured I may as well discuss it just for those who, you know, haven't seen it, because I have not seen many folks really even discuss it. So anyway, first off, it is a kind of pretty image, I'm not gonna lie, but it also, I don't know, it really just, it makes me uncomfortable in terms of knowing, like, oh man, the game is like this scale, like this is how big everything is compared to us. Is it gonna take forever to get through everything and whatnot? But before I continue on, let me just also mention a lot of the screenshots here are of familiar places. Not all of them though, just a fair bit of them. So it is kind of nice seeing some of these familiar areas reimagined and whatnot, but it's also, some of them don't look that great, to be honest. But, you know, first off, we got the little pink sea area or whatever. It looks okay, but like I mentioned, something about the scale is just what really throws me off. On to the next image, though. I forget the name of this place, but yet again, another familiar place. It seems a little weird, not gonna lie. Yet again, it's a matter of the environment looks really nice, but the player models look fairly off, to the point of it being uncanny. I wouldn't say this looks horrendous here, but like I said, the player models just look so weird and so off. But I mean, this one is more or less pretty true to the original, so I can't really say too much bad about this. This is just kind of true to the original, and that's kind of it. Not much to comment on here. On to the next image. This one is, very creepy looking one, to say the least. It also makes me wonder a couple things. One, what is this place? This is not a place we've encountered before, am I correct? Is there just some, like, rooftop back in the original YUME NIKKI that I just never encountered that was blood red, more or less? I don't believe there was. I could be wrong, of course, you know, there's a fair bit of secrets in YUME NIKKI I never encountered, but I don't believe so. Regardless, this place looks creepy as shit. You know what else is creepy? Player model. It's, yet again, the environment looks fairly nice. Player model still looks really fucking weird, mixed in with everything, but this would appear to be one of those places, that, you get to from going to sleep in a bed, just based on the fact that, you know, she's sitting right there on a bed. It just kind of makes sense. You're not just gonna, you know, oh, just this is not her little, I was gonna say house. She doesn't have a house. It's not her little apartment now, is it? But it also makes me wonder, like, you know, what exactly is going on here? What do we have beyond just this rooftop? Is it just the rooftop? Is it just something creepy? Is that it? Like, what? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Next image. If it would load. This one... Okay, we weren't shown this in the recent prologue trailer, but we weren't shown, like, a similar area. A similar, you know, sort of like... Just regular little town and whatnot. Maybe it's a part of the same place, maybe it's not. I do know this place is not from the original, that's for certain. But I'm also wondering, like, what's going on with our girl here? Like, why? There are a couple screenshots here and there where she's just kind of just moping about like that. Like, what's going on, really? You know? One issue I have with that as well, and someone in the comments brought this up. I apologize that I don't have the comment on hand, so I can't read it word for word and also mention the person. But they mentioned, how, you know, her moping about and just being like that, it just kind of shitty, because it also, you know, kind of removes the element of surprise if she were to pull a original YUME NIKKI ending type deal. Because, you know, in the original, it kind of just creeps up on you. Oh no, she jumps off and kills herself. But in this one, it's like, that kind of just ruins that. Since she doesn't seem to be doing too well to begin with here, so, yeah. I do agree with that. It is really, it's just a weird, so many weird decisions going around with this. Here's another, I apologize for that. That was, just sounded terrible. Anyway, here's another familiar place. A little train. Nothing insane really to comment about here. I think this one actually looks fairly fine. I don't really have any issue with this. I'd say this is fairly true to the train and whatnot. I have no problem with this one, so not much else I can say on that. Although I will say our little friend there looks a bit creepy, but I think we'll be fine. Next image. Fairly dark, but I do believe we've also seen this one before. It's this weird sort of classroom environment that we've been seeing a lot of. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to play into just everything, but we have seen this classroom environment a couple of times, really. So it leads me to believe, you know, okay, maybe this place is going to play some huge role in this. Next image. Next image is just a really easy one to discuss. It's the little effect room. You know, you got your doors and whatnot. Although, thinking about it now, how many doors are there? The fact that there's only 2 in this screenshot leads me to believe, I don't know, like 2 with all that space is a little concerning. It makes it feel really empty, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and just say, you know, I'm just overthinking it, and that there are more effects and more doors than before, hopefully. But that one's pretty standard. Not too much I can say about that. Next image. This one is actually among my favorites. While our wonderful little player model does still look a little odd, specifically the run cycle. The run cycle is what's just, it's what bugs me the most about our wonderful little main character here. Their run cycle looks so bizarre, but this screenshot actually looks fairly nice. I'm not gonna say it looks like the most graphically advanced screenshot in the universe, but it does look nice. It has a strange feel to it. While it does give off a very creepy feeling, something about it is just so very captivating. I'm not sure. Something about all the snow, you know, the very, very dark forest, the weirdly lit lake here in the back. So something about that's very interesting. But I'm super curious as to see what the hell is going to be going on in that area and whatnot. But okay, next image. We're about third through. Here is a place that I do not remember the name of, but this was like the first place I ever went to in YUME NIKKI, so I very much so recognize it. However, I'm not a big fan of this camera angle. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the way this area looks to be handled. And, of course, you know, the typical issue of player model, player model, player model. It is what it is. I could go on for tens of minutes just saying what I don't like about this image, but that's just a bit overkill, so we're gonna move on. I don't like how that looks. That's just all I'm gonna get out for that one. Next up, I believe this is a fairly new area, and I don't really know what the hell our little, almost, like, almost googly-eyed friends here got going on. If that's even their eyes, of course. But not much I can really say about this. It looks interesting, but again, a matter of, you know, player models or character models or whatever, just looking weirdly out of place. Like, they just don't fit in. Something about them, like, they're not really stylized the same. It's just very, very bizarre. Next image, though, is probably the most interesting one. So, oh man, there's a lot of weird shit going on here. We have our very strange, I was gonna say donut friend, because he has the circle, the circle, or that's more like an oval, the hole in his head and whatnot, but that's just mean. I apologize. And then we have a familiar painting, or drawing, whatever you want to say, that we've seen before. Maybe you're thinking, what the fuck? I've never seen this. Well, I mean, it was shown in the, on the sites, on the Steam page. It was shown a bunch of times already, so Very interesting to see that it's there. Maybe we'll see this creature somewhere around this part. I don't know, but I also gotta say, god damn, I don't like the way the floor looks. The floor is horribly textured. I'm sorry. It's just straight up horribly textured. I can't defend that, okay? I will say, this area in specific does feel very, very, you know, like original YUME NIKKI-esque, but damn, some of the texture work does not make this place look too great. Next image. So, next up we have another one of my favorites, actually. This is, if you remember the igloo, this is from there. You know, the igloo in which you then go to the pink sea and whatnot. I actually kind of like how this one looks. And it's one of the rare instances where I think, you know what, the player model looks kind of nice with all of this. I like the very, very glowy sort of hole we got going on there. It just looks really nice overall. I will say, though, the image quality for it is dog shit, but like I said, it still does look nice. So I don't really got much to say about that, actually, so let's just move on from there. Anyway, so next up we have one that I actually can't comment too much on because I can't read Japanese. If you in the comments, if anyone in the comments happens to know Japanese and can read this and translate it, please do tell, because seeing as I am not fluent or even know any bit of Japanese, I can't read that. Of course I can read the part that says get because that's in English and whatnot, but it would appear to be, you know, maybe this is some item they got and maybe that's saying blah blah blah, this is the item, get whatever, you know, like how in Mario Sunshine it's like sunshine get or whatever the hell. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe. It might not be. I don't know. Regardless, this is also a very interesting image because you can barely see what's going on in the photograph because it's torn. But it seems to be a person or something of that sort in the image. As to what or who that person is, we don't know. Gotta wait and see. Although this also does seem to take place in the classroom. Like, based on the lights in the background, it does look like similar lighting to what we saw in the classroom area. So this leads me to believe maybe there's going to be some sort of quest or something in specific we can find in the classroom. So next up is another image that I'm not too fond of. We got all these strange creatures with meme lens flare eyes and whatnot. But, oh man, I don't like how this screenshot looks. I really don't. Even the environment doesn't look too great in this one. I get what they were going for with this kind of, you know, run-down, rusty look to everything, but this doesn't look too good. Again, we have a severe case of the bad running cycle with our main character here. Someone please show her how to run correctly. Next up is an area that I don't remember the name of, but I do know very, very well. Oh, man. I gotta say, though, the lighting in this just doesn't look too great. Just straight up, it just doesn't. And I get it. They were really trying to recreate the feel, the look that the original had, but it just doesn't seem to translate too well into 3D. So I can't say too much about that. Although, yet again, seeing familiar areas is quite interesting. I'm not sure how much of the original is in this game, whether it be all of it or if some is cut off and whatnot, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see, really. So here we have a not super interesting image. It's kind of just a slight variant on one we've already seen, except we have the oh-so-wonderful player model for our main character here, looking rather weird. I don't know what's wrong about it here, but it just looks really, really weird. I think it's the face. The face in this one looks absolutely bizarre. Also, the fact that you can't see, like, her little... What is it? She doesn't have ponytails. It's pigtails, that's it. The fact that you can't see them is also kind of weird. Kind of confusing. Whatever, though. Not much else I can say about that one since it's kind of just something we've already seen. Next up. Oh boy, this one is a pretty interesting one. We got Blondie over here, you know, what's her face? I don't remember her name. because I never learned it in the first place because the game just doesn't even tell you. But in case you're like, what area is this? This is the very, very infamous Uboa room. You know, the one where you enter, you turn off the lights or turn them on or whatever, and you have a chance to meet Uboa and whatnot. This is that place. Now, this has me very curious. Can we still meet Uboa? Are the requirements the same? Is it still just a game of chance to meet Uboa? I would assume yes, but only time will tell. Anyway, not much else I can say about that, since it is just kind of a rehash of stuff we've already seen. Same with this image right here, except this one actually looks really nice. I can't even lie. So the little docks area of the original, this area, would this even be considered docks? Whatever. This area in specific is among my favorite in terms of looks in the original, and surprisingly, they've managed to pull it off fairly well here. I mean, we still have a bad case of the bad run cycle, but it looks fairly nice. I believe that. Oh no! It's not the next image. It's another one of the upcoming images. It's another one showcasing this area. But this is one of the few ones where I can say, you know what? It actually looks really damn nice. I'm sure not everyone will agree, and that's fine. Here's one that I was not too fond of. So. This is, what place was it? It was an area in the mall. That's as much as I remember. I don't remember anything past that. But we have our wonderful, bird lady friend here. You know, crazy bird bitch. And she doesn't look too great in 3D. I'll just flat out say that. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm not too fond of these player models. The environments, I can get behind. They've got some pretty good environments here and there. Not the best, but some pretty good ones. But these player models, man, I just can't get behind at all. On top of that, you know, this is also, you know, a familiar area. I'm not looking forward to how they handle the mall, to be honest, because the mall was a very dark area. So, I don't know. So here's another strange one that doesn't seem to have any roots in the original. Just seems to be. I don't even know what this could be. Like a sidewalk? Just some place in a city? Like, what is it? All I know is that we have various strange drawings on the side. I don't know where they're coming out of or anything. But they're really weird. I don't know how to comment on them. I just... It's... If you're used to... if you're used to YUME NIKKI, they're not that weird to you, to be honest. But, still... It's rather interesting. Not too much I can say. Again, a bad case of the bad run cycle. Alright. Next image. Here's the other one I was talking about. Another one showcasing the docks or whatever it's called. Yet again, this one looks fairly nice. Sadly, you know, we have our wonderful bird, or... I was going to say the, scientific term for birds, and then I remembered I don't know that. We have our wonderful bird lady friends here, and they're kind of weird looking. Although on the left, she at least seems to not have as bad a run cycle as us, but I won't know until I see it in action. It just doesn't seem that bad just based off of the screenshot, because look at how our main character is running versus how they're running. I don't know. Anyway. Next image. This is a pretty weird one. I don't really know what to say about this one because there's not too much to comment on. Aside from the fact that we have this robot thing. Like a mannequin sort of thing. Robot, whatever thing. This might be like a factory or something. I don't know. This place is just really empty, really weird. Just... There's not much I can really say about this because there's not much to this image aside from our weird mannequin robot thing there. It's quite weird, to say the very least. Okay, next image. We're almost there, folks. This would appear to be something similar to the mall, but it might not be. I don't know. We have those weird mannequin things in the window over there, so maybe, just maybe, it ties into that. We also have various blood splatters here and there, which is kind of concerning, but, you know, it seems to lead to something. I'm not really sure what that is. That's a lever of sorts. But as to what it does, your guess is as good as mine. Overall, I don't think this one looks too bad. I think this is one where everything just looks handled pretty well. Sadly, we have a bad case of the bad run cycle yet again. But luckily we can't really see the player model too much, so I'm not actually too mad about that. Anyway, next image. A pretty basic one, not too much I can say here, but just the door opening to one of the areas, and that's just kind of it. That's all I can really say about this. Does it look bad? I don't think so. I think it looks okay. But that's all I can really say. There's really not much else I can comment on this. It just looks nice, and there's not too much to gather from this image, really. It's just, that's kind of it. Next image, folks. What have we got here? Oh, this is, oh shit, this is actually one they showed in the, prologue trailer. This is like some sort of neighborhood of sorts. In the prologue trailer, you know, she's running through this area and eventually reaches like a blood splatter or something and then wakes up. This one looks okay, but like I mentioned in the prologue trailer video, amazing environment, very, very weird, almost uncanny characters. Seeing as I've already kind of discussed that, you know, go watch the the prologue discussion if you want to know more about that. Next image though is just our wonderful main character just laying in bed. That's kind of it. I will say though, this game has a absurd obsession with extreme darkness. Like there's so much weird lighting going on here. You got the blue, you got the light near like the diary, and then you just have like near pitch black in the corner of the room. Like, I'm not too sure that's how lighting works, but okay, whatever. I don't know, I feel like that transition into that lighting is just way too harsh and doesn't look that great. Regardless though, next image is more like a zoomed out version of that. It's just kind of the same, really. Luckily it's not as dark, so I don't have as much a problem with that. That sounds horrible out of context. It doesn't look as bad. The lighting doesn't look as bad here. You know what does look bad though? That wall texture. God damn, that is a low resolution wall texture. Not too much to comment on this one since I've more or less already mentioned it before. And I believe this is our second to last image. Almost a complete variance on the image before, the one we just talked about. Except, you know, she's not laying down, she's sitting up. That's kind of it, really. That is kind of it, really, for that one. Also, whoever took the screenshot left the mouse in the screenshot, so good job. Good job, whoever did that. Just absolutely great job. And last, but not least, we have what appears to be kind of like a full view of the room. And it looks okay. Sadly, it's another instance of shit just gets way too dark for no reason. But it actually looks okay. I actually kind of like this interpretation of her room. It looks actually just really nice. Aside from, you know, the obvious lighting issues and whatnot. But I think it's one of the better looking environments and whatnot. And I believe that's the last image. Yes, indeed it is. Alright, folks. So, wow, that actually went on for a lot longer than I anticipated. But goddamn, that's our last bit of YUME NIKKI discussion until release. Upon release, I will try and see if I can run it well. If I can run it well, I will try and stream my experience with it and whatnot. But anyway, folks, that's going to be it for this video. If you have enjoyed, of course, be sure to drop a like as well as a comment. Be sure to subscribe if you're, be sure to subscribe if you're really feeling it. And I shall see you guys next time. Bye-bye.